Hey everybody, Mikey Warren back with Matt Damon, Academy of Martial Studies. No, I'm just kidding. Got Matt Fowler here. And we're rocking all of our proper Cobra Kai attire, keeping it safe. But today we're going over some Hapkido techniques. And Matt knows all the basic weapon disarms that are started to be learned through the process of wrist controls and wrist locks. Very rarely, unless you're being arrested or somebody's trying to put you in cuffs, are you going to have to worry about a wrist lock as a real threat. Unless you're doing sport jiu-jitsu, then, well, those guys are just playing dirty pool, and I like that. If your tactics are fair in a fight, they suck. So, what we're going to cover today are some of the basic wrist locks. It's taught to me by Paul Mason Sr., one of my early masters that taught me most of my teenage and young adult life, who still comes in. We work together and try to make things real. And when he sent me off on my way and I first joined the Army, way back in 1995, I know I'm showing the age, he's tasked me with learning the best of the martial arts that I possibly could and bring it back together to continue to make the art alive. So Matt's been training these, and what he's doing today is he's getting a chance to put it together. He's got to go for his darker belt, so to speak, with the Hapkido being a part of the encompassing Academy martial arts system and Warren-Ryu. And with that, it's very similar to chaining submissions or positions in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for example. Of course, we're going to be going slow because even though Matt knows each of these basic locks, throws, and escapes, he's going to be chaining them together. And the reason for doing this chain drill is so he can start to learn the key points of control, pivot, and now adding momentum, the body motion involved with it. And being that this isn't a pretend art like Aikido, which has cooperating opponents, no real striking to speak of, and the only time you ever see it work is in the movies. That's it. So, with that in mind, and all the people I probably just pissed off with a little bit of reality out there, I'm trying to keep martial arts martial. With that in mind, Matt and I, working here, notice he's got a pretty awesome Cobra Kai mask too. These are triple layer. Medic note, if you're wearing a cloth mask and doesn't have at least 3 layers, might as well not be wearing a mask at all. So 3 layers if it's not an N95. So to start with, what we're doing is called a same side grab. That's because my right is same side. A cross grab is if he grabs across my body, his arm crossing my body. Same side grab, his arm stays on the same side as my limb that he's grabbed. So he's got a good, powerful grip. Now I know basic escapes and counters from this position, but that's just not enough. If he's really strong or amped up, I have to do something to distract from his concentration on controlling this wrist. Simple eye flick, hit in the throat, ear clap. I can hit here, bring my hand around, making a C grip on his wrist. Now just before this knuckle, his first index finger, leaves my radius, my thumb is going to catch it underneath. Boom. So I have, my fingers are just pointing, so you can see the basic direction. I'm going to wring his wrist like a washcloth and getting all that water out. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to turn his pinky towards him, which causes a fracture around the carpal tunnel region. But that doesn't mean he can't just hit me in the head. Whack! That sucks because now both my hands are free. I mean, I can try to duck, but come on. So, I'm going to strike and hit up the groin. If I see he's still coming at me, I'm going to use my body. All right, take a step back, please. So, from this position, as I felt him pull, I take my back foot, and I'm stepping and turning. My forearm is going to brace at or near his elbow while holding his wrist. So he steps forward. Now, once I get his momentum going, this arm is going to reach over. My jiu-jitsu homies, if we turn this way, please, know that this is a good position for controlling the arm. But what I'm looking to do is this thumb here. I'm going to transition this arm over and grab the pad of his thumb here. From that, this hand is going to stay, so my thumbs are on the back of his knuckles. Stay straight down. I'm going to turn. At this point, drive his fingers just behind his head, wham, and execute a throw. Because I have a good wrist control, I can throw him and counter back, as you guys have seen somebody's belly up. You have their arm, you can twist them over to get them face down, rest position. Just look at our one with the cuffs, or that particular clip. You see it all day. So putting it together, he grabs, I distract strike, I go to break, hit him in the groin, I see he's got a threat and maybe reaching for a knife, I turn, improve my grip, change direction, and let him have it. The idea is pull, turn. It's a very violent motion. I want to snap that up. The hand has to go over the shoulder, right behind the ear. So Matt's going to practice that a few times, nice and slowly. Boom. Good, he's got the first knuckle. Turns, changes grip, boom. Good. Now, a key point that Matt likes to do is he likes to have a lot of over-top clinch control. So from this position, go ahead and turn it over, reach over. What he has to be wary of is this elbow, all right, as you start to make your turn. See how it's stuck there? Now I can get him, gooseneck his wrist, whatever. So he has to bring that elbow out so he can turn his whole body in that motion and then drive me back. So he turns, drives, boom, all day. Just something to be wary of, okay? Yep. And we'll make it smooth with practice. Boom, trap, kick, turn. Now, see how his feet are crossed? Well, you can't really see it on camera here. We'll have to get somebody behind the camera. But he crossed his feet. It's like crossing the streams. Never do that. What should you do, Matt?
Side step.
Side step and pivot. Yeah, pivot off of one foot so you're making a big circle. Okay, so let's try it again.
Okay.
Boom! Ugh. There's a good circle. See how that made me step around? Boom!
Yeah.
That's momentum carrying me forward, and that sudden whip back is what makes this effective. Now, we're going to try this on the other side, okay? So I hit. Same time I hit is when I start to flick my hand. I don't wait. Go ahead and look here. I don't wait till I'm all the way up here to hit, okay? Same time I hit. See how quickly I came in? Boom.
Yep.
Just slide down the arm. My thumb is just under this first knuckle. If I need to, you can take a step in front and slap his arm. So you want this like Z-like shape in the arm. Give a kick. I see a threat, so I turn, pull. Hand comes over to grab the thumb. Other hand stays on the pinky pad. None of my fingers support the wrist because I want to twist the wrist. I step back and push. Watch your hand on the bottom. So let's try the offside, Matt. Your turn. Nice and easy.
Okay.
Boom.
Back to here.
No. So, remember, just like in chain drills, each technique has to be correct. So he has to make a C grip. Boom. Your thumb has to catch first knuckle. Yes, there. And what's missing here? Just chop it. Chop the inside of my elbow. Boom. Now you're in a position to control and break that
I
wrist.
should have done that on my way down.
Yep. Kick. Ugh. Possible threat. Turns me out. Hand slides over and down to the thumb.
Got it. And then
Take a step. You see how you brought me out this way? I'm already out of the lock. Where do you gotta go?
over the ear.
Over the ear. There we go. Nice.
Catch.
Okay, so we're gonna practice this a little bit more. And once I unpause, we're gonna show you the cross arm drills. All right, everyone, we're back from our non-existent commercial break, and we're going to show you the cross grip escape with this technique. Now, it's good to be able to take a multitude of simple angle attacks and always transition to a familiar framework for finishing the fight or making an effective throw. So anytime I can take attacks from all these different angles or threats and come back to one center where I'm very comfortable, maybe a tied clinch or a basic knee strike or a throw, we want to try to incorporate that as much as possible. So since we're talking about some of the Hapkido, we did the same side wrist break with some strikes, controlling the arm, changing our grips, and breaking and throwing the person so we can take and change their momentum and the angle of direction violently. The cross grip crosses across the body, and that's going to be slap, wrap, grip like a motorcycle on the wrist, strike. I see a threat, maybe their free hand. In this case, their left hand reaches in their pocket. Could be a knife, could be some bubble gum, I don't know. Once I kill them, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna pull, using this elbow, control, come over top their arm, straightening it out. This hand is gonna reach and grab the same thing, pad of the thumb, my knuckle just under here with my thumb right on that knuckle, boom, to push. This hand is just gonna grab the pinky, same way. Thumb under the knuckle. From here, I just turn and take a little step. Now, what I had to break down for Matt was the angle for this turn so that he doesn't get his elbow caught. Matt, you said you had like a training sword nearby?
Oh,
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate this technique. That'll work from the sword fighting perspective to understand how the wrists, the body, and everything move. So in this instance, it's cross wrist grab, right? So what I'm going to do is think about my grip. I'm going to turn it over. So if somebody comes to hit at me or cut at my side, boom, I'm up. Step to cut. I see a threat over my shoulder, so I bring it up and step through. From the back, that grip is the same as if I go around to cut. And I see a threat, turn, cut. That is effectively what the body movement is off of the wrist grab. So I'm going boom, I'm gonna bring it around, have it, take out the threat, turn, and throw. So sword techniques can tie into this because the body only moves so many ways. So with my good buddy Matt, he's got his cross grip, slap. The idea is to stop that first knuckle from leaving my radius. Okay? Shell in my hand, grab it, kick, turn, thumb on the knuckles, grabbing the meat of his thumb, grabbing the meat of the pinky. I see him start to push towards me, so I turn and step. Bring those knuckles straight down. That's where the power point comes from. So once more, boom, step, turn, throw. Just practice slowly until it becomes natural. So in that spirit of practicing slowly until it becomes natural, go ahead, Matt. I now have his wrist. Let's move this way a little bit just so we can see. There we go. Okay. Slap, wrap, and trap. Boom. Why I oughta, whoa! Just grab the thumb and the pinky. Just gonna bring it right over and nice. You even get to see my feet kicking. Good job. Now, the other side. Step back and turn it over. Boom. Adjust your grip. Grabbing the pads of the thumbs and the pinkies straight over my shoulder. Boom. And he's got me for days. Take your time, practice it. If you got questions, hit us up on tappingwon'tsaveyou.com. This has been a brief interlude.